Now I've got the basic shape of the eagle carved out. Time to start hitting it with the die grinders and maybe the sander and stuff, and kind of clean it up and fine tune it. Alright, so that's going to be it for now. Going to take this thing in the shop and start adding some paint. Well, move the eagle inside. All the sanding work is done. Did some shaping on the face here with the eyes and the beak. There you go. I've got my feathers all set, and well, I believe everything is ready for some color. So the first coat of paint is on the eagle here. I've got to let this dry before I put a second coat on. Normally if I keep spraying and trying to build the layers of paint, they just keep soaking in the wood. Once the first coat of paint dries though, then the next ones will start to build. So I'm going to let this dry for a while. Now we can just sit here and, well, watch paint dry. And apply the second coat. So we got our second coat of paint on here. I did 2 coats of brown, 2 coats of white so far. I'm not 100% happy with the way the white looks. It's pretty much dry to the touch. It's dry enough. I'm gonna add 1 more coat of white. We'll let that dry, and then I'll start with the face. Time to add some yellow. Kind of got this ugly color yellow that I'll use down here on the toes and the talons with some black on the nails, and I'll also use the same yellow on the beak. Well, as you guys can see, my shop's a hot mess. What's new? Got the 3 bears here in the shop. I want to take the eagle and just kind of set it in place. Just check it out, see how it looks. It fits in there like that, and I'll be adding a screw, and it'll really hold it up like this. I mean, for now it does kind of sag down a little bit, but I've got timber lock screws, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a timber lock screw right through the wing, right up into that log, and that's going to suck this eagle up like that. Hold it right in place for me. Might also cut a small wedge to put in there. The main hole I made was a little bit too big, trying to get everything to fit and trying to cut the hole with the chainsaw. I probably should have just used my chisels, but it's done and over with. Now I got to work with it and make it work. So while we let that paintwork dry on the eagle, I figured I would just let you guys know of an up-and-coming build series that I've been editing. Hopefully you'll be interested in it. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Who knows? I recently built a carport off the side of my workshop. Call it a carport for lack of another term. There's not actually going to be a car in there. It's basically to cover my firewood for the heat that I have in my shop, and to cover materials and my lawnmowers and, you know, all that wonderful stuff, seeing as how pretty much took over my garage and turned it into a wood shop. So now I need somewhere to put my other stuff. Those videos are going to be up really soon though. I've got several of them done and ready to go, so real soon you'll be able to watch that build. Once again, waiting for stuff to dry. Sometimes that's what takes the longest, is waiting for things to dry to move on to the next step. What's the next step? The next step is going to be mounting this to the rest of the carving. Yeah, so right now we're just gonna watch polyurethane dry, and you know, when it's dry we'll mount it. I think I'll just sit over here, and this great rocking chair covered in sawdust. I don't know what you're gonna do. I'm just gonna hang out over here, I guess. All right, everybody, moment you've been waiting for. I've got the eagle attached to the Three Bears carving. I moved it all outside so we could get some better shots of it. And here it is behind me. There's the eagle and bears. 1, 2, that third bear's down kind of low there. See how tall this piece is? This is actually going to be a corner post for someone's carport. They're going to be picking this up here in a couple weeks, and this guy's going to be traveling all the way to Tennessee. Luckily I don't have to ship it, they'll be picking it up, so that's kind of nice. All right, well, that's it for this build. You know, I just want to thank everybody who's watched this project from start to finish. If you're new and you're just checking this out, you know, hit subscribe, go back through. There's a few different parts to putting this carving together and creating it. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Got a link up here in the corner. Got a bunch of other videos popping up here. Check those out. Thanks again. Have a good one.